Today's video is brought to you by LevelGo.com, where you could save money on games and software for your Windows 10 PC. And if you need a Windows 10 key, they've got you covered, where you can get a Windows 10 Pro key right now for just $15.75. Also, Microsoft Office 2016 for under $30, or 2019 Professional Plus for just under $60. And if you use my code JKL10 at checkout, you'll save 10% off your software purchase when you hit up LevelGo.com with the link down in the description below. It's good coffee. Hey, what's up, guys? Joker here. Hope you're all doing well out there and had a good Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Thanksgiving, all of those holidays in general that are now pretty much over as it is today, December 26, 2018. So Christmas was yesterday. Had a really good Christmas here at home, and I just wanted to do a video to kind of get the ball rolling here with content on the channel for late 2018 and going into 2019, because in case you haven't noticed, I've been missing in action for about the past 2 weeks. The last video I uploaded was on December 13th, so it's been 13 days since the last time I uploaded a video here on the channel, and it's one of the longest times I've ever gone without uploading a video to the channel since back when I wasn't really making money from doing YouTube and I was just kind of doing it as a hobby here and there. Since then, this has definitely been the longest break that I have taken from YouTube, and it wasn't really necessarily a planned break, although after a few days I started to, for the first few days I was really trying to just, come up with ideas for videos, and nothing was really hitting me. None of the news topics out there was really striking me as particularly interesting, and the products that I have here to review, I didn't really feel like reviewing. So I just kind of got into this state where I just wasn't feeling very creative, and I was like, I'll take a day off. I'll take 2 days off, and that turned into 3, 4, and then, by the end of that, then the weekend came, and then it was basically the week leading up to Christmas, where we host every year. So the fact that I took a few days off and then combined with prepping for Christmas and everything and the holidays just led into this sort of like a little 2-week vacation for myself, and that's coming to an end now. I got to get the ball rolling, got to get back on the horse and uploading content. So this is kind of an end of 2018 status update for the channel. So I guess I did need sort of like a reset, I guess, with this little break. And although it wasn't, I guess what I'm trying to say is there wasn't any one particular thing that happened where I was like, oh man, this is so stressful, I need a break. There was nothing like that. It was just a very gradual thing where I just kind of slid into this, taking a break from YouTube and social media in general. Really, I haven't been on Twitter really too much. I've done some personal stuff on Facebook with that only friends and family that know me in real life, get to see some things like that for the holidays. But for the most part, I've been staying off social media. I've been staying off Twitter I've only maybe had a small handful of tweets in the past 2 weeks, and I haven't been really reading through comments on the videos or anything like that. I just kind of took a break from social media in general, and it's actually been really positive, and I've found myself not reaching for my phone as much as I normally would. And I've been trying it, in the mornings at least, when I first wake up out of bed, to not go instantly and grab, my cell phone and start looking at social media and reading comments and, excuse me, I just burped. I don't know if the microphone picked that up. Checking subscriber counts and just being obsessed about all this stuff. And, for the general person, you definitely shouldn't be obsessed with social media. But for me, it's a little different where it is my job. I mean, social media it's how I make my living. So I need to stay on top of social media. But, it's also important to have that separation of church and state, so to speak, where you have, the work life, social media, and then when you're with the family, you shouldn't be constantly checking YouTube video comments and things like that. So it's not it's become a problem for me. No one in my life is yelling at me about it, or it's not a problem at all. But it's definitely something I notice for myself that I do more often than I think I would personally like. So I'm trying to be better about that. I think most of us in 2018 can probably do with a little self-control when it comes to reaching for the smartphone to give yourself that instant satisfaction and gratification of having a notification bubble, turn red, and you're like, ooh, what did someone say about me? That type of thing. So I think it's important to take a break from that every now and again. But neither here nor there. Also, I said the holidays, that was the reason why I kind of took the break, and, why I was busy during that time as well. So that kind of didn't help matters with creating content, but I had a very good Christmas. Got a lot of stuff for the kitchen, as I love cooking. You guys probably know that if you've been watching me for a period of time. Hope you guys all had a good holiday as well. Now, during this 2-week span, what have I been doing with my time? I actually took a lot of it to catch up on some of my backlog of video games that I haven't been able to finish because I've been too busy running the channel. So I actually, like all these games I had pretty much started and never finished. So Wolfenstein 2, I played like the last 6 hours of that. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I had basically not touched at all. And I just finished that last night. And then I instantly went into starting to play Detroit Become Human, which is a console exclusive on the PlayStation 4. I've got the PS4 Pro. I played a few games on that this year. Some of the better games I've actually played in 2018 have been on the PS4, which surprised me. This is not like a Game of the Year video by any means, but after playing games on the PC and the PS4 Pro, my Game of the Year was Red Dead Redemption 2. Hands down. Second place behind that would be Spider-Man, and I did not expect to see PlayStation games be my favorite games of 2018, but for story-wise, campaign, everything like that is just impeccable in both of those games, and nothing on the PC really kind of spoke to me in that way in 2018, even though the performance on PC is way better, graphics, way better, all that stuff. As far as just a game is concerned, a single-player game with a story to tell, nothing on the PC really hit home with me as much as something like Red Dead 2 or the Spider-Man exclusive on the PS4, but hopefully we get some more better PC games in 2018. It doesn't even need to be a PC exclusive, just a multi-platform game that I really want to play on the PC, as there just hasn't really been anything so in 2018 that I could really think of. Most of the time on PC, what I played this year has actually been Rainbow Six Siege, and that came out in December of 2015, and it's still my favorite multiplayer shooter to date, and I continue to play. I was just playing it yesterday. I just played for like 2 straight hours yesterday with my buddy from over in the UK, and we had a good time with it, and I will continue until we get a better multiplayer shooter on the PC. So that's kind of what I've been doing, on the break, besides getting ready for Christmas and hosting for the holidays and shopping. I've been catching up on my back catalog of games. So that's what I'm doing in my free time. And coming up in the future, we've got a lot of stuff going on. CES, for people that aren't familiar with it, it's coming up in the first week of January. I believe it's January 8th through the 11th, if I'm not mistaken. I went last year. Last year was my first ever CES out in Las Vegas, and it was a really good time. Had a good time, getting to, first off, meet some of the industry contacts, which I talked to over email, getting to meet them, getting to see other tech channels like Steve from Gamers Nexus and people like that, and just getting to interact with them. Away from social media is always, I feel, very healthy, because it's good getting face-to-face with someone that, in a lot of people's mind, you might think of like as competition. I mean, we're uploading very similar content, these other YouTube tech channels. But, once, when you're face to face with them, it's a very different thing. It's more of a collaborative effort. People, pretty much every tech channel I've ever met in person has been very open about, sharing information and their experiences to a certain extent. And how they dealt with it, and, you can kind of take from that, how you might deal with it better, and you might be able to tell them a situation that happened with you. So it's a very good collaborative community when it comes to people in the tech space, whether it be for YouTube, as well as journalists, people writing for articles as well. Just a lot of good information just going between different people. And that's one of the things I look forward to most about things like CES. I'm also planning to probably go to PAX East again, which I believe is at the end of March. That's up in Boston. I've gone the past 2 years, and looking to go again this year, I believe. And then after that, maybe Computex. I've never been to Computex. It's all the way in Taiwan, but it's one of those events where I've always wanted to go, and during the past 2 years where I've seen other tech channels going, every time that I see them there, I always feel a little bit left out, and I'm just like, I should have hit the ground running a little bit earlier on with, trying to find sponsors coming on board to, help with the cost of the event, like with CES. Be Quiet is sending me out to CES this year again, just like last year. So having stuff like that lined up is definitely important, especially when you're talking about a trip that costs several thousands of dollars to go all the way around the world to, meet with these companies. It helps a lot when they can, alleviate some of that cost. And speaking of sponsors, I've actually had a lot of help recently with the channel, and as far as ad integration and talking with companies for sampling is concerned. We've at Joker Productions here, we actually have our first employee, so to speak, who's been helping out over the past few months, helping me, reach out to some companies that I hadn't worked with, and other companies like, for sponsorship. So we're going to be doing some other sponsored content in the near future. It's probably nothing that's too exciting to you, but it is exciting to me to have someone on board helping out. You might be familiar with him. His name is Hutch. He actually used to work with the guys over at Tech Syndicate, and he had, went back to working away from YouTube for a while, and now he wanted to come back and start working in the space again. So he's just been helping me out behind the scenes tremendously over the past few months, and just kind of helping me hone in on some things that I wasn't really familiar with or knowledgeable about. Because when you're running a YouTube channel or a social media empire, so to speak, when you start out, I mean, you don't know, for most people, you don't know anything. And I went to college for TV and film, so I have somewhat of a background in that kind of stuff, but it doesn't really prepare you for running a business on your own. So you're not only learning since starting YouTube, I've learned how to film and use a camera properly. I've learned how to edit videos. I've learned how to edit and work with audio, which I'm not great with, but at least I know how to do it well enough to be able to put out a video on YouTube. You've also got to learn about social media marketing. You need to learn about search engine optimization, all of this stuff, and then shuffling that with working with vendors, companies that you've never worked with before, maybe, coming in contact with lingo and terms that you're not familiar with, and things like press decks and sponsorships, and trying to figure out a dollar amount which you feel like you're worth, so that you feel like you're getting adequately paid, but you're not trying to rip companies off, and also not feeling like they're ripping you off in return by trying to short you on things. So there's so much you need to know to run the back end of a YouTube channel, and for the most part I've done a good job up until now, but bringing someone else on to kind of help with that certainly helps out a lot, just in terms of obviously someone else doing some of the work for me, but also with being able to teach me, because as talking to him I learn as I go, and I'm able to pick up information from here and there, so that I'm actually learning at the same time throughout this process. So it's all been tremendously helpful having Hutch on board. So huge thanks to Hutch for all the work he's been doing. If he sees this video, he's been helping out a lot with getting stuff lined up for CES, and in the future he will definitely be helping out more. And maybe at some point we'll get him on the channel. Not really too sure yet. Maybe a stream or something. I'll have to see how he feels about that. But I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Sorry for this little bit of a 10-plus minute ramble here. I'm not sure if this was very interesting to any of you. It's just the things that have been kind of rolling around in my head for the past 2 weeks that I sort of needed to get off my chest and just get it out there and get back on camera so that I can just move on with this. I had this little 2-week vacation, and it's over now, and boom, we're right back into it. Next up, I'm going to be something I've been procrastinating over the past 2 weeks, which is switching around my PC setup. I'm not going to show it right now, but I'm planning on switching around my monitors, where my PC is, my audio mixer, everything like that, because my desk is just filled up with stuff right now, and I'm trying to make it a little more compact. So I might get rid of my, if you've ever seen my video on it, I have a 40-inch 4K monitor. It's sitting right behind my camera right now. I'm planning on taking that down, putting up a 32-inch monitor so I have a little bit more space, and then the 40-inch 4K monitor will probably get repurposed somewhere in my house as a television, possibly in my bedroom. I'm not too sure, even though it's a really nice 40-inch monitor. I think we might end up using it as a TV because I really don't have anywhere else to put it in my office space that would be a reasonable solution to it. Taking up too much space, because there's already too much stuff in here as it is. So I think we're probably going to end up turning it into a TV, sadly, and I will be sad to see it go, because I really do love my AMH A409U Korean 40-inch 4K monitor, which I do have a review for on the channel. I'm not too sure if you can get these exact models anymore. They may have a revision or something, but it has been absolutely excellent for me. I've been using it for over 2 years now. I love it. And I'm still hesitant on letting it go. That's kind of why I procrastinated, because I do like it so much. So, as I said, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys all did have a happy holiday, whatever holiday you do choose to celebrate, and a happy new year coming up in the next week or so. All right, but I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow for another video, which maybe will be a overhaul of the studio space and my workstation and everything. So I'll see you guys for that video. Ta-ra for now.